Yeah, I got a little bit more juice than that. There was a lot more energy in Minji's earlier today. All those little kids in there. That was excitement.
Did your daughters make it?
My oldest was in there, so it was pretty exciting. I went over to hang out with her a little bit. I thought I would just walk in and walk out, but I got the impression pretty quick from her and from my wife through a text that I better keep my butt in there, and which is good. I got to spend some quality time with her and with her friends, and it was really cool to actually see all those elementary school kids in there supporting and going crazy, and they got the whole Minji's Maniacs thing figured out as far as the chants and the cheers, and that's what's cool about this place and this community. And I've said that 1,000 times. It's just this is a college town and Pirate Nation, and people love the Pirates, and that's from little bitty to old, and that's pretty awesome, and that's what makes this place special. So.
Be louder than 3,000 grown adults.
Yeah, they were. I won't comment on that. I'm on the microphone. You're not.
Well, you guys have quite a challenge this week with Houston. I think they're averaging like 46 points a game over the last 4. Just what has made them so explosive?
Well, I think the two guys that stand out to me is Clayton Tune, and he's, it seems like I keep talking about the quarterbacks in this league, and this league is full of a bunch of good quarterbacks. Pratt, Tune, Holton Ahlers. You can go on down the list. Mordecai from SMU. You could, the UCF is a different kind of quarterback, but a really good quarterback. But Clayton Tune stands out to me. I think he's top in the conference in passing yards right now, top 5 in the nation in passing yards, and he's playing better this year. I think he played last year. Just the thing he can do, too, if the play breaks down, he can take off scrambling and pick up some yards there. He's had a couple of long runs. I don't remember him moving that well last year. He's moving really well right now. Nathaniel Tankdale is really special. He may not be very big out there, but he's the best route runner in the conference, maybe the best receiver in the conference. And he can do some damage. So you got to know where he's at all times. And the thing that makes him special, too, is he can line up out wide. He can line up in the slot, to the field, to the boundary. He moves around, so you can't just make a plan for him in one place. You got to make sure you're accountable for him in all areas. And then they got some supporting cast of that, too. Number 8, number 13, those guys are out there. The tight end's doing really well. The freshman 10. So he's got some guys that he can sling it around too. So it's not just Dale. And then I think the run game, you kind of forget, thinking pass, and they're patient enough to sit there and run the football. And they've ran the football for 150 yards on the season is what they're averaging. So very balanced offense, very balanced attack. And they do a good job putting it in the end zone too. So that's where they don't settle for a lot of field goals. They'll go for it on 4th down, and they'll go try to stick it in the box.
Miles and X are graduating now and kind of leaving the program. That's got to be special for you to see those guys from kind of the point that you got here, even a year later at the start, to see them as grown men walk off the field.
Yeah, it is, and that's for all our seniors, and especially Miles and X and Gerard, who defensively has been here the whole time, and we keep talking. I think Coach Houston's talked about it, and I keep talking about those guys, just the way they're changing the culture in the program every single day. It may not be where we want it quite yet, but thank God it's not where it was when they came in. And I think sometimes, I've always said this about a program, sometimes the hardest part is the getting it changed and pivoting to get into the correct culture. Sometimes when you walk into a program and it's all you know is win, 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 well, that's easy just to follow those footsteps. But when nobody has led before you and paved the way for you, that can be tough. And I think those guys, just really proud of those guys. And, I keep telling them this week how much I love them, how proud I am of them, and just excited to be around them each and every day. And I just want to go see them one last time in Dowdy-Ficklin and go play their best football and go play our best football defensively and go get those guys a win that they deserve.
Going against a team that isn't afraid to air it out, what's that conversation been like with the secondary and the energy, knowing that they have a pretty tough challenge ahead of them?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge, and I think the guys are excited about it. They're excited every challenge that comes up every week, whether it be the ground game, pass game, this guy, that guy, whoever it may be. So we got to make sure we keep the ball in front of us, make sure we don't give up the explosive play. That's been the focus again. Obviously last week we gave up the explosive play, and it turned out to be the difference in the ball game. So we got to make sure we keep the ball in front of us and make them earn their way down the field. And if we do that, we think we'll have a chance to win a ball game at the end of the game.
You guys have stopped the run pretty much all year. Maybe BYU got you guys a couple times, but how happy have you been with that? And then pass coverage-wise, you'll have made strides the last few games. You feel like you are starting to figure out some things there too?
Yeah, I think so. And you know, you go back and forth from game plan to game plan and what you want to take away. You know, with BYU is Jaron Hall and Puka and those guys and the air raid stuff. You know, there's another quarterback. We looked up somebody was talking about the top quarterbacks in the country throwing yards, and obviously Toon was in there, but I happened to see Jaron Hall in there, Cincinnati's kid in there, top 25 in the nation in passing yards. But you know, each week you go into, hey, what do we need to stop? Last week it was obviously the run we needed to stop first and foremost, but not give up the big play. And I think it's kind of all molding together and all meshing together. And at this point in the season, that's kind of where you want it to come to. Is hey, we can pull from this game plan, pull from that game plan, and take what we need to be sound against the run, stop the run, get the run game stopped, but also make sure we good in the passing game too, whether it's rushing the passer, playing coverage, and taking away their top targets, those type of things.
Bates got kind of shoved in the back. Is there, I don't know, could another guy still could have came in and stopped that play, or what did you see on those two short passes?
Yeah, it was third and 5 on the first one. They hadn't thrown a screen all year on third down, and just chatting with some of the coaches after the game like you usually do. It's just something they kind of pulled out of the air there, and we got to play it better at the end of the day. And I'll never comment on an official going one way or the other, because at the end of the day, we always pull the thumb, say what can we do better. I think we got to take a little bit of angle, get there a little earlier. I thought a few other guys made some bad moves as far as going behind a lineman instead of over the top, and we got to get that thing on the ground. So at the end of the day, I'll pull a thumb on myself and say, hey, maybe I can get us in a better call there. I think when they motioned out to empty, that would have been a good time to probably get us into a better call in a situation where we had a better chance to, if it was a screen game, quick game type scenario. Usually screen games come on, normal downs, first and second down, or third and extra long. You don't expect those in 3rd and 5. But to their credit, they're putting the ball in the playmaker's hand. And then the same thing on the P&T on the 1st and 10. A couple series later, that 21 had. We were in a call. They put 1 and 21 into the boundary all season long. They brought 1 back to the field, handed the jet sweep to him. So we got in a run sound call there. So the safety comes down into the box. They'll play the run, kind of leaves the corner 1-on-1. Don't get the slant cut off. And you got to give those guys some help on special guys like that, because once those guys catch it, neither one of those throws were more than 7-8 yards down the field. They just have the athleticism and the speed to take it to the house. So that's where we got to make sure we're giving those guys help. Be sound against the run. Make sure we got enough guys in the box to stop the run, but also enough guys to double up their best players and their speed guys. So we make sure something like that doesn't happen again. So we give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Barry's kind of come into his own through the last year and a half.
Yeah.
What do you see out of him every day? That we don't necessarily get to see.
A man, I really do. And he even talked about coming into his own last, year and a half or so. In the last couple of weeks, I think when he got healthy, you've seen, especially last week, just him flashing and him playing like Miles Berry is capable of playing. And I expect that the rest of the season from him. But every single day, I just look at him, and he's a man. And just very mature about himself, how he carries himself, and represents this program, not only as a football player, as a student athlete, but this university too. And just, so proud of him, and just what the adversity he's dealt with in life, and just so excited for him, just his next step forward after football, whether it's football or just a career. Just really excited for him, and just really proud of him.
Anything else for Coach Harrell? Thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate you guys.